don't have probably a long opening statement. Impressed with Sacred Heart. I was impressed with really watching them in particular. They're hot. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that. It might be an NCAA violation, so I'm going to skip that. Temple, just watching them at Temple was impressed with. Was impressed with them and the way they played, out rebounded Temple, and had a chance to win what would have been a really nice road game for them. I think they'll be pretty good in the MAC this year. I think they got I think they got a pretty good team. So overall, I think the things obviously I was happy about. The rebounding, to go plus 22 there with the rebounding. 0 offensive rebounds for them. They out rebounded Temple, so it was and they go to the glass. So it was good to see that. Obviously, love the assists. Anytime you see that number in the 20s, you feel good about it. I think the turnovers were a byproduct of some just opening night, bizarre shit. And then, I don't know. I hate opening night, so it's like the worst day of the year. I hate it. And that'll be the thing that drives me out of coaching is how you feel when you wake up on opening night and you have no idea what your team's about to go do. So there you go. Happy it's over.
Dan, you mentioned 25 assists, 13 turnovers, 25 assists on 30 baskets or so. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much the way you want to play, right? I mean, you expand on your happiness about that.
Yeah, and we missed. I mean, I thought they played really, really hard and physical, and I thought they gave up a pretty good level of resistance. But we missed open people. We probably should have shot mid 50s maybe. And it probably should have been a 30 assist game for us, but I think it's just part of who we are, part of how we play, and we're going to get better. I mean, we're going to get drastically better throughout the year. I think when you look at the team and people are imagining what the team looked like last year, like you can't compare what we looked like last year, the last time you saw us play, and then you see us tonight, and you say, well, wait, they don't look as good as the last time I saw them in Phoenix. Well, it took us a while to get that good, and I think, I think Jaden, when we get Jaden Ross out there, I'm pretty excited about Solo and Caravan and Liam and Jay Ross, what that's going to look like when we play those 4 guys together with a center.
Dan,
Joe.
The pregame ceremonies, the banner reveal, messages from the former players, the final wrap goodbye on last year's season.
Yeah, that was awesome. I cared for like 90 seconds. And then I cared no longer. It was nice, though. I mean, it was nice. I mean, the video, just seeing the boys up there. Obviously, I hate looking at myself talk because my voice is bad and it's like cringe level. I think everyone doesn't like seeing themselves on TV. So, but it was great to see the boys. And then the banner actual reveal, that was pretty cool. But I just wanted to get back in the locker room. I just wanted to play the game. We've celebrated enough stuff. Who's in? Bobby?
You talked about how Liam was too hyped up for his exhibition game. How did you feel he handled tonight?
Better. I think better, and to be able, basically he had 3 days of practice, and he after missing 2.5 weeks. So I thought that was, obviously you could see the strong performance. He did what we needed him to do. We understand that we don't have the 7-2 center or that we had with Donovan. So it was good to see him take to heart the help we need on the defensive glass. I think that's going to be the benefit of having so many of these big wings that we got, that I think that could mitigate some of the 5-man rebounding, especially with Sampson, that's a little bit of an Achilles heel. But, this guy is going to just, that's just tip of the iceberg with him. This guy's going to be so good this year.
20 points on 9 shots for Alex. Was today kind of exactly what you're looking for out of him? just all around, just how he's involved on everything. It seemed like.
I just think in games like this that's what, like great players, high level players, guys that are ready for the season start. Alex played like he played like an All-American. He played like a Big East Player of the Year type. 9 shots, 20 points, 7 assists, 7 blocks, 6 rebounds. Kept us organized. But in games like this, that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, it's like that's where you see the quality of like Alex's performance, Liam's performance. Guys that shot the ball efficiently in a game like Solo, 9 shots, 16 points. Tara, 7 shots, 15 points. Liam, 11 shots, 18 points. Games like this, that's how you should be efficient like that in games like this.
Haas coming off the bench, is it just a matter of, obviously he did so very well last year, you just like that infusion of kind of energy and defense?
I think that's just a little bit, we're trying to figure out, how we want to start games. Obviously, like Jaden Ross would have started this game if he was available. Jaden Ross has been just a rocket ship for the last 2 weeks. I mean, this guy's looked like our best player at times, or one of our, he just changes things for us. Just a 6'7" athlete that's making threes and on the glass and just like getting to the rim. So it's going to be interesting when he's healthy where we go that way, because, Solo looks pretty entrenched, and it's going to be hard to get Liam out of the lineup. It's going to be hard to get Alex out of there. And then we have the 2 centers. So, where do we go when Jay Ross is back? And then who's better starting the game for us, Aiden and Hassan? Aiden started. I think part of it, for us, because we're deep, it's just going to be, it's going to be someone else's night here a lot of times, In the exhibition, it was Aiden's night. He had 17 or whatever and was super efficient. We got a deep team and a high-level team. So, tonight just wasn't his night, But I don't know how that's going to shake out. When Jay Ross is healthy, it'll be interesting to see how we play it.
Back to Alex for a second. What do 7 blocks say about his willingness to impact the game defensively for you?
Yeah, I mean, just where how his brain processes, the principles of where to be defensively and how to play angles and how to get vertical, and he did it, without committing a foul. It was just like really, really, just his basketball brain, and his discipline, and obviously his experience. It's like having another coach on the court. It's like cheating.
That Liam's made his debut and gotten through a summer and preseason and everything, what are some things you look for, do you think, over the long haul that you hope to be able to count on, say, in January, February?
Yeah, I think more playmaking. I think you saw how much success we've had the last couple of years when we get our bigger perimeter people, taller perimeter people, using zooms, using ball screens, getting down the paint, throwing those lobs to our finishers, Sampson and Taras, and then being able to also see the 3-point line. So I see him on the ball a lot more, creating offense for himself at the rim, for our rollers, and having that 6'7" size to also spray it out to the 3-point line. So I think you're going to see like assist numbers and just more higher usage on ball with him.
How encouraged were you with Terrace's second half after he struggled a little bit in the first half?
Yeah, Taras is obviously a huge X factor in the year. You see the physical abilities. I mean, this is a guy that can, do things for us that Adama did for us in terms of around the basket presence. You can see the mobility and the physical strength, and it's just continuing to direct him towards taking the identity. He got caught a little bit not being as aggressive or as high as we want him to be in ball screen, which doesn't necessarily mean a hard hedge. It might just be just a high. We don't play a drop here. We play a higher flat, and but he's buying into what we're asking him to do. I'd imagine that was one of his more efficient performances of his career. I don't. We're going to look at that, but again, I don't think the center position is going to be a problem for us this year. I mean, we got 24. We got 24 and 14 with 4 blocks out of that spot combined today. I don't think the center spot's going to be an issue.
Dan, can you elaborate on what Solo Ball did today? I mean, it seemed like he was doing everything offensively, and even defensively early, he forced a steal and a fast break chance. I mean, you've been raving about his shot all for 2 years, and I was wondering, was this performance like something that you guys you forecasted coming, or was this kind of just did you learn something about him tonight?
Yeah, I mean, our buy-in with him was his personal makeup, the family he comes from, his personal traits, and then the fact that in some of our biggest non-conference wins of the year last year at the Garden, he was a major reason why we beat Carolina there, and played great against in that Texas and Indiana swing, and and he was solid at versus Gonzaga. So he flashed as a freshman where we could bet that he's going to be a 12, 13 a game scorer for us. The shooting is a weapon, a major weapon. When he starts learning how to cut and get out in transition, he's going to be hanging on the rim, catching lobs, and he's going to have games where he makes 5, 6 threes and is going to light it up. I want to look at what his defense looked like, because we need him to be strong at that end of the court too. But he's a safe bet to have a breakout year, I think.
Dan, you mentioned you woke up this morning kind of not knowing what your team was going to look like, worrying about that. Now you know something at least about what your team's going to look like, and probably glad that it's over. What's your overall takeaway? Do you feel good about what you saw tonight? Do you feel like it's going to be okay, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, obviously Andrea was excited to get me out of the house this morning, and just to get me away from her and into somewhere else. I see the vulnerabilities. There were some vulnerabilities out there, but I do think that this team, through the first 6 weeks, maybe 2 months of the year, is not going to look as good as we looked in the first 6 to 8 months last year, and I don't think we have to be as good as the team last year to win trophies and to make a deep run in March and to compete for that championship. But I'm really excited. I mean, when we get Jay Ross back out there, I love the wings. I love the versatility of what we got with the wings. I think the Sampson and Taras combo at center is going to be really interesting and exciting. Obviously, we wish we got better performances from Aiden and Hassan today. That was not, reminiscent of what those guys are capable of doing for us. So, you see the vulnerabilities, but I also see a team that's got great potential. And we're just going to get better and better. So we're going to be competing for the same things we've been competing for the last 2 years. Thank you.